Hey, what's up guys, John here. Cities all across America have begun cutting funding for migrant families.
Major budget cuts could be coming to every New York City agency, and the mayor says it's because of the asylum seeker crisis.
Denver's mayor is announcing cuts to city services to help offset costs related to the growing migrant crisis.
And in retaliation to this, migrants are ganging up together and they're doing whatever they have to do to survive. Things are getting out of control. Look at Los Angeles, for example. I'm going to show you this video. Elon Musk tweeted this yesterday. 50 million plus views on just this video. And they're talking about some of the technology that these migrants have now. They're able to go in there, they're able to blow through Wi-Fi, shut off the cameras, they're following people. I mean, it's absolutely getting crazy.
Using new technology to interfere with home security. Wi-Fi jammers had been used to block camera and alarm signals during some recent break-ins.
But what gets even crazier than this is this. I mean, 2 hours ago, Newsweek, migrants have the right to own firearms, right? NBC News, Newsmax, all the same. You start to look at this. Imagine millions of people being brought to a country, promised a better life, the ability to work, not given work permits, then instead given a right to bear arms, and being pushed into a situation to where they have to do whatever they have to do to survive. Can you imagine what's going to happen as this funding continues to get cut off? Because, I mean, this is what they're already saying. For example, I mean, this came out a couple weeks ago. First, on Eyewitness News, Mayor Eric Adams slashes funding, cancels city budget cuts, right? How do you bring in millions of people and then slash their funding and instead put them in that situation where they have one of these? Like, this is a bad, bad, bad situation. But the more you look into this, the more you realize that what I just told you is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to break this down and give you the facts. Please hit the like button, hit the like button. YouTube will share this content, educate more people about what's going on in America. If you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow. Look at this.
Organized groups that are outside this country, that are coming into the country, and they are targeting high-end residents, and we are...
Look at this, 900 homes, already 900 homes since January, right? So over the last 2 months, 900. And so what he mentions here is that they're going in with camo. They're going in with, certain types of technology to where they can blow through the Wi-Fi, they can shut off the cameras. They're watching them when they leave the house. I mean, you think about it. A lot of these cities now have catch and release. They have no cash bail. So the consequence for getting caught for a crime or it's almost nominal, right? So they're going to do what they have to do to survive. And it's not just them. Americans are going to do what they have to do to survive as well. Crime is going to continue to likely get out of control in this country. I mean, it's going to, look at this, for example. This lady, she had someone break into her house, a squatter. Someone just took possession of their property. I mean, same thing is happening right now with evictions of migrants. They're given 30 days in many cases, sometimes 60 days, depending on if they have women and children inside of a shelter, and then they get evicted, they get kicked out into the street. And so with software like, VRBO and Airbnb and Zillow, people can see the homes that are listed online. They can see what's, if someone's living inside of these properties, if they're vacant, and they can just break in. I mean, look at this lady.
Just forced himself into my house. No, he did not. Yes, he did. No, he did and not. So did you. Ma'am. You broke through the front door.
Officer. You want to see what happened? You want to see how that kind of played out? This.
For unlawful eviction.
She got arrested. She got thrown in jail, right? She got thrown in jail. Absolutely crazy. Here's her, think about this. You work your whole life, buy a property. I mean, it's not easy to buy a house in America. And then someone just moves in and takes full control of that property, right? People really need to look at how the world is changing and how quickly it's changing. For example, 2 days ago, Chicago begins evicting migrants from shelters, citing strain on resources. Chicago evicts migrants in North Elston shelter, right? I mean, the same thing is unfolding in, New York, for example. You have here, I mean, look at this. Dozens of asylum seekers' families evicted from New York shelters under 60-day limit rule. So, I mean, this situation is, look at this. Handyman warns that migrants are using squatter rights. Like they know where they can go. They know the cities in which have strong tenant protections. They know where crime is going to be, more relaxed, which is basically all cities now in America. And that's where they're going, right? They're going where the resources were. And I mean, look at this. They were given $10,000 in New York, taxpayer money, no ID check, no restrictions, no fraud control. And then basically almost dangling that carrot, a really attractive offer. Everyone goes there, given this big offer, and then it's rescinded, and now the citizens are stuck with it, right? Look at this. NYC migrant crisis intensifies as calls grows for work permits to be issued. This came out September 13th, right? This came out September 13th, about 5 months ago. Then March 18th, yesterday, work permits for migrant arrivals stagnant since December. I mean, look at this. Migrant in Denver scraped by with odd jobs, pleading, open the door so that we can work. Emily Borges wants to work, even if it's not as a cop, in which they're also making this possible. New laws remove obstacles for DACA recipients who want to become police officers. California and Colorado have passed laws that would permit non-citizens authorized to work in the U.S. to become police officers, while New Jersey and other states consider similar legislation. So you see this when she says this, she left behind in Venezuela after facing threats within her own police agency for doing her job amid corruption. After a treacherous journey to the U.S., Borges and her 2-year-old daughter crossed the southern border in December, then traveled to Denver, where they're staying at a hotel shelter. She's trying to pick up any job she can, such as cleaning houses, but to unlock opportunity for regular work, her ticket to earning money so she can find a place to live, she needs a work permit. So, I mean, they're not allowed to work. It's absolutely shocking. And so this is how they're going to respond to this. The immigration crisis made bankrupt cities such as New York, Denver, and Chicago federal funds fall short of needs. California has a $68 billion, with a B, dollar deficit. What do you think is going to likely happen next? Crime is just going to run absolutely rampant. But the real concern is what would happen if the federal government shut down. Now, they've talked about this so many times. They've thrown this out there a million times. At least that's what it seems like the last several years. Nothing's ever happened. At least, none of us have really been impacted from it. But when you start to kind of connect the dots here, what you're going to potentially see is a scenario where it could actually happen. Because we have a really, really big thing coming at the end of this year, right? There's going to be a lot of suspense. Something just in the air feels like, this year is going to be different, right? If it was different, could it be anything like this movie that's coming out in about a month, right? In April, right? This movie they are predicting in this movie, or they're, stating in this movie that what could very well happen is that American government there's a clash between the citizens in Texas and California, and journalists struggling to survive during a time when the government has become, right? This is what they're saying. And they're saying that militias are getting together, and it's getting out of control. Now, what's fascinating is when you have hedge fund billionaire Ray Dalio warning that 2024 could lead to that, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying there's, even a connection, but I'm saying on their own, each one is very interesting, to say the very least. I mean, and he said this like all over, like Fortune saying it, institutional investors saying the same exact thing. In August 30th, February, I mean, these are different times. Hedge fund titan Dalio isn't alone in thinking that a civil war is coming, right? So, I mean, all these different billionaires, these wealthy people, what are they all doing? They're building survival shelters. They are, selling stock. They're doing very, unique things, to say the very, very, very least. And so when you see all of these very wealthy, connected people, right? Even like, for example, you even see George saying it, that he sees it. He expressed concerns. I don't know. I personally think that we're going to see some big changes coming here in America. I think 2024 is going to be a year very, very unlike anything we've ever experienced in the past. 2023, 2022, I've always said 2020, it's kind of, it's going to gradually get worse. Each year, it's going to gradually get worse. What do you think? Where do you see all this going? Do you think we're going to see a situation, a scenario where funding for migrants will completely dry up, work permits will essentially dissolve, and we're going to start to see a situation where they will do whatever they have to do to survive, and Americans will do whatever they have to do to survive? Because, you think about it, when you're going through a drive-through at, McDonald's and it's $20, if you have a job and you're making $30 an hour, maybe you can afford it, right? Maybe $35, $40 an hour, maybe you can afford it. But if you have no job and you have a wife and you have a son and a daughter and you're out in the streets in New York, I mean, you're going to be approaching it from a different level of need, right? You're going to do more to get that. I don't know. I think 2024, coming at the end of this year, could get very, very, very interesting. It's already starting to heat up, and to me, it doesn't even feel like this party's getting started yet. What do you think about this entire situation? Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself, what I believe is going to be, without doubt, a very bumpy ride in 2024 or 2025, we'd love to help you. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, collections, if you have any issue at all in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow, and I'll catch you in the next video.